Oh, wait, sorry. Circling back for 1 second. Thank you for linking.
Someone with ADHD and you give them Adderall, what many of them experience is that they are non-functional without Adderall. Without my Adderall, I can't do anything. And with my Adderall, I become a completely different human being and I can accomplish a lot. So the subjective benefit of Adderall seems to be very high for people. But if you look at studies, how much does Adderall improve your actual concentration? On average, it leads to a 30% improvement in ADHD symptoms. Compare that with psychotherapy. So psychotherapy, over the course of 1 year, if you really stick with it, improves ADHD symptoms by about 69%.
69. Yeah, there's like, I mean, talking to people who are medicated, but also talking to people who aren't medicated, there is a lot of, I'm trying to think of a way that's inclusive to talk about it, that doesn't discount people's personal experiences. But basically, much like everything else, they work together, right? It doesn't mean that you have to do one or the other. And for a lot of people also, taking medication is not always the correct solution because it can make you more stressed or more anxious. And if you already deal with like bad anxiety, there are people who don't like how ADHD meds make them feel. So it's again, it's like, it's a very much so like different things for different people. It's not a one size fits all type of thing. What the heck does 30% more concentration mean? What does 100% mean? That's just like limitless when you take the little pill. ADHD here as fuck. Stimulants are mildly effective for me. I've tried a ton of therapy. None of it has practically helped. I hate the meds. The therapy doesn't stick. Is there like a third option? One chatter says, I mean, again, personally, I just gamify my life and that's the only thing that works for me. Just gamifying the shit out of my life. Like, I don't know if this is a girly pop thing or this is an OCD thing or what. Because I do have OCD, but I like make like charts for myself. And that's the only thing that keeps me accountable because I'm like, well, I got to check off all the boxes that I did what I was supposed to do today. And if I don't do that, if I don't like have something else to hold me accountable, even if it's just like a paper or a poster or whatever, I just won't do the thing. Right. And it's like, it's one of the only things that like works for me. The idea of making lists and charts makes me want death. No. How do you do that? Like, I just make like a normal, like, it's like a chart with like days on the top. So like, I'll do like 30 days and then I set up my schedule. So like, you know, wake up, stream, end stream. And like a big one for me, this is the most pathetic thing that I'm on stream ever. But one of the biggest things for me is sometimes I'll end stream or even I'll like at midday, I get pretty tired, but I feel guilty napping or like I don't want to commit to the nap yet. So I kind of just spend like an hour or two doing nothing after stream where I'm just like, I'm too tired to do anything, but should I nap? Should I not nap? And so I just do nothing instead, which is not the right option, which is the wrong option. And then eventually like the tiredness goes away. And then I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll stay awake. And I'm not joking, just like literally putting something on my daily to-do list where it literally says decide to nap or not. And then it forces me to be like, okay, no, I have to commit. Am I napping or not? I'm not. Okay, I can get on with my day now, which is like, it's really stupid, but it works. And if it works, like you should do what works. And some days I'm like, no, I should nap. I'm actually tired enough. I'm going to nap. I'm going to wake up, make some coffee at like 1 o'clock and get through all the rest of my day. Are you saying that decision paralysis and do nothing for a large swath of the day? It happens to me on occasion. Mm-hmm. Every day is just a choose your own adventure. Well, I mean, like also, if you have ADHD, you might struggle a lot with not having a schedule to rely on. And so if you don't have a schedule, if you either work for yourself like me, or you have weird hours, or you're in between school or work, it's very easy to just spend the day doing sort of like nothing. So you just have to make your own schedule, make your own structure. And that's kind of the only thing that you can do is do that. That and like I have a rule that like, I try to remind myself to commit to this rule every day where if there's a task that I have to do that takes under 5 minutes, I'm going to do it immediately. If it takes less than 5 minutes, you have to do it immediately. So like throwing out the trash. And if I don't do that, I'll just like have a full trash can that I keep like shoving the trash down. I'm like, I can fit one more piece of trash in here. And it's like, no, wait, this will take less than 5 minutes. Let me just take the trash out. And I promise you, if you do that, if you set up that rule, you will be very happy with yourself. You'll be very happy with it. It's a really good rule. It's a very, very good rule. And then the other rule that I have that I set for myself, this is when I'm feeling really, really bold. where like one, if I have any motivation to do something, even like, because there's different amounts of motivation. There's like, you really want to do something and you don't want to do something at all. If I have even like 5% motivation to do something, or 10% or 20, I'm like, I mean, like, I wouldn't hate, cleaning my desk. My desk is pretty clean. There's only like this fuel bottle, this water bottle, my scissors from yesterday, and that's it. I guess like my lipstick. If I have any motivation, I spend 10 minutes working on it, because I know my dumb human brain is like, well, I already started. I might as well finish. So all I need to do is just like, do I have 10 minutes right now to work on this thing I don't want to do? I have 10 minutes to work on it. Yeah, I have 10 minutes. Okay, I'll work on it for 10 minutes. And then once you start, you're like, whoa, I just spent 3 hours on this. Okay. Those 3 strats will save you. But like, if you don't have rules in place for yourself and you don't have things that help you trick yourself and work yourself or whatever, you just won't. Taking meds might not necessarily help. Might is the key word. It might not necessarily help. For some people, medication is enough on its own, but for a lot of other people, it's not. And it's like, well, I definitely feel more motivated, but I just like don't know what to do or how to do these things or whatever. So yeah, you actually just gave me amazing advice. Thank you. I try. Okay. And this is another one. This is a bizarre rule, but it works. If anyone else gets overwhelmed because they have too many things to do in like a given week or a month, where I've had this happen where I'm like, there's so many things to do and there's so much to take care of. And it's like, all of it is stressing me out, where I'm like, oh, I got to take the cats to the vet. I have to like talk to the leasing office. I have to, I'm going to have friends over this weekend, so I have to clean the apartment. Oh, I have like my doctor's appointment, this, and I have this. When I have a lot on my plate and it's all stressing me out, it's like cluttering my mind and making me unable to do anything. I write everything down. I write down all the things, everything that could possibly be weighing me down, because writing it down releases the stress from you. You just write everything down. You're just like, okay, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to return that thing. I have to send out that package. Write everything down. And then tell yourself you will do one of those tasks a day. Because like the problem is you don't, when you think about doing the tasks, you're like, well, it's so many and I'm not going to be able to do all of them in a day. And I don't want to spend 12 hours doing a bunch of random miscellaneous tasks that I hate. So what you do is like, you're the first day you start the strat, this works 100% of the time, chat. Your only goal is to write everything down. And then tomorrow you pick one and you do one. You don't have to do more. You can pick which one you want to do the most, but you do one of them. And then the next day you pick one. And you'll find on like day 3, you're like doing 2 or 3 or 4 or more than that. And after a week, you're done. And it was easy and it wasn't stressful. So I'm saying this one is like the goated strat. This is the goated strat. Just get one of those like whiteboards and throw it on your fridge, or like a notebook works as well, just fine. You just, anytime you feel overwhelmed, just write all the stuff down and then just commit to yourself that like for the rest of the week, you're going to pick one task and do it. So personally, IMO, I use iPhone notes. I really like Google Keep for daily to-do lists. But yeah, that worked the best for me. That worked the best. These are the things that help me the most. But anyways, yeah, like I was saying, that's why some people say that like ADHD medication doesn't really help them. It's because you haven't built any of these habits, because you don't know what to do and you don't know why, you're struggling with these habits. And so taking the meds might not necessarily help you be motivated to do these things, or be motivated, or like like you feel better, but you're not really doing what you want to do. Again, not everyone, just some people. For some people, all they need is like they take medication and they're like 100 times better. Should I be writing this down? No, you can just timestamp the VOD 4 hours in, and then you can send it to yourself later. So personally, if I think of things when I'm not home, I put reminders in the reminder app that are set to go off at locations in my home. That's dope. That's actually crazy. Could you add pause less to your list? Yeah. Anywho, okay, let's watch.
Right? So it is more than twice as effective as stimulant medication. But if you ask someone, how much does psychotherapy help you? How much does Adderall help you? There is a subjective difference in how much people think it helps them. So if I give someone a year of psychotherapy, they're going to be 70% better in relation to their ADHD. If I give someone Adderall, they're going to be 30% better with their ADHD. But if I ask someone, how much better are you? The Adderall person will say, I am way better. I'm like 100% better. And the psychotherapy person will say, I'm about maybe 50, 30, 70% better. And that's because we have this bias in our brain where the speed of something working increases the magnitude of the effect. So since Adderall works right away, the more immediate effects are, the more we think something is effective. This is why things like Xanax and opium and opioid medications feel like they're amazing, because they hit us really fast. And if they hit us really fast, the brain confuses that with being very effective. So our brain confuses onset of action and speed of effect with magnitude of effect. So if you take someone with...
I mean, that makes sense. Is this guy legit? I always got charlatan vibes. I mean, from my understanding, he is a licensed a therapist or a psychiatrist. I know that there's a massive difference. Therapists can't prescribe medication, but I know that he's at least a licensed therapist. He is a real doctor. I know people have mixed opinions about him because he does sprinkle in a little bit of, what would I describe it as? Eastern philosophy. I think that would be the best way to talk about it. But he is very I feel like whenever I've watched him, he's careful not to put in too much of it, or like to say like this isn't medical advice or whatever, but this is how I like to frame it. I think in general, like he doesn't do something. There's one thing that I hate that doctors do, licensed doctors, which is they shit on traditional medicine. And I fucking hate that shit. Like it actually makes me so mauled. But even in this, he's like, yeah, of course it's going to be helpful. For a lot of people, this is helpful. For a lot of people, medication is going to be helpful. And for some people more than others. But also, if you don't have these like habits built, if you haven't like spoken to your psychiatrist or your therapist about trying to improve these aspects of your life in this way and this way, which he does this with everything. So I have a neutral to positive perspective about him. What's his conclusion here? If it's do more therapy, it's a great suggestion. Yeah. If it's you don't need meds, you need therapy. No, I mean he's saying that meds improve people's condition, and people feel like it improves their condition more than traditional. I mean, it's sort of like taking Ozempic versus eating healthy and working out without Ozempic. You might not notice the change day to day when you're losing weight without Ozempic because you're not losing weight as fast. Whereas once you take the drug and you're instantly like, from the way that other people have described it to me, just you have skinny brain and you're just like not hungry. Like you just don't have food cravings. You just don't crave anything. And when you eat, you get full really fast. Unfortunately, I'm against using it if you are already a normal BMI. If you're already within, and I know BMI is not the end all be all, because there are lots of people who are in a normal BMI but are unhealthy, and there's lots of people who aren't in the normal BMI and are healthy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if your height and weight is generally good and you eat mostly pretty healthy and you work out semi-often, you like to go for walks, you like to maybe lift, you like to do some cardio. I don't support those people taking Ozempic, because like the risk doesn't feel like it's worth it at that. Like you're already healthy. Like taking Ozempic just to look thin feels really bad. Like if you're already at a healthy weight, you don't need a weight loss. If you already have like healthy habits and you're at a healthy weight and there's no doctor that's ever said you have any health problems, it makes me mad that they market to women who just, and like men who want to lose like 5 pounds or 10 pounds. It's like, but like, why are we using this in this like weird predatory way? I hate this. For people who are using it to lose like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, more than that. Yeah, it's so dope. It's one of the coolest things that it's come from the 21st century. Holy shit. Like diet pills have been talked about for decades. And we've never had, there's no such thing as a diet pill. Like diet pills like don't work. And now we actually have a solution for people who have struggled to lose weight for years and years and years. Like that's amazing. Like that's really, really amazing. As usual, with me, my perception or my standard is always, I hate when companies have a perfectly good product and they use it to profit off of people's insecurities. That shit makes me mauled. It makes me mauled. So anyways, my mother offered me Ozempic. I'm 6'2", 80 kilograms. Oh my God. Christ. Also, Tracy Morgan gained 40 pounds because he and I quite power ate through it. That's dope. Sounds like fear mongering. Yeah, I just don't like that. I don't know. Which I think is a fair stance, that I don't like the companies that are using Ozempic to prey on people who are normally, they're healthy, they're a normal weight, they work out, they eat healthy, they just like have an extra 5 pounds on them. And like, that's disgusting. It makes me mauled. It makes me mauled so hard. Like people should be allowed to be a normal weight and not be criticized and like feel like they need to take drugs to become just a little bit skinnier. Like that's crazy. Also, like at a certain point, that type of extreme weight loss that quickly for people who are already healthy, I don't know. Okay, moving on. Back to the ADHD segment really quickly. I'm one of those people who can't do the meds. It's been a constant life of learning how to control my attention when things get crazy. A lot of times my partner and I three-step it where we make a step-by-step of the task at hand and keep three-stepping it when we complete the task. Yeah. No, you just like gamify things in your brain until you get yourself to do them. That's what works for me. That's the only thing that works for me. Okay, sorry. Oh, dude. Dude, what? Oh my God. Well, what is this? In the time that I last opened this, we have another one of these stories. Dear Mr. Blank Blank, age 39, male, unemployed, noticing a trend. You live in Texas, but your family lives in Minnesota, which becomes relevant in case you evade service.
The only time I've seen pigs move faster was to pull over a Dunkin' Donuts truck. How got them? DNM Porkers.
Stop. Judging by your appearance, you're single as well, clearly insecure about your receding hairline, bitter, single, broke, and alone. No wonder you've turned to socialism. You wasted the 39 years you've been granted shitposting on Twitter. Damn, straight out the womb, shitposting on Twitter before it was even invented is crazy. That's some dedication, dude. You ever pop out the womb and you're like, mother, hand me the phone. Oh, do you want me to hand you what? What? Hand it to me! I have to shitpost on Twitter. 39 years you've been granted. Shitposting on Twitter, obsessing over a Twitch millionaire. You're running out of time, my friends. Okay, this is... Does it not read like something that like the Riddler would leave Batman? Like you pull up, you just missed him. You're like, no! And it's like, he left this note. Does it not give... It's giving that a little bit. How many Tinder swipes does it take to find a match? 100, 1,000, or have they stopped completely? I understand now why you want to kill my children, because if you can't have any, no one should. Huh? You are the picture of an incel in every conceivable way. Hassan is clearly leading you down a road of self-loathing and misery. 30% of Hassan's audience is unemployed, 6 times the national average. My community is... Well, okay, but that's like Twitch, okay? I'm pretty sure Asmongold's audience is like 60% unemployed, if not more. Okay, that's just like being on Twitch. Yeah, shocker. I know. People who are on the internet and on their computers are more likely to be unemployed. Crazy. Okay, crazy. Also, you can't comment as a content creator about unemployment. All right. I found out the other day that Emaru's never had a real job before, and I lost my marbles a little. I was like, what? Never? Wait, what? Also, that includes students. Another great point. Another great point. It also doesn't include like people who take time away. I mean, seemingly like the other person that he's threatened to sue recently, the Gato Fumidar. Who says that he took time away from work and from the from traditional employment to take care of his dad. People with chronic pain too. It doesn't consider disabled people. It doesn't consider students. It doesn't consider people who've taken away time from work for their family or their loved ones. Right. Also, don't concede this. Where's the source for these numbers? Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe there's like a poll. I literally don't know. And I also don't care. I literally don't care. It could be 100% employment. I don't care. It's not relevant. My community is vibrant, employed, and loved. Dog, weren't there people screenshotting Noah Sampson's Tinder profile and being like, I think I'm going to show up to it and then ask him why he was being mean to Ethan. Like, that's crazy, by the way. That's crazy. Or even the person that walked up to Dan Clancy in real life. That was also crazy, dude. Oh, sorry. Okay, continuing. Where were we? An unrelated 40% gay. It is not too late for you. Even now in this late hour, I would accept an apology and let all go. But if you prefer to continue to lie, harass, and threaten my children, there is nowhere you can hide. And if you don't believe me, all you need to do is wait. Why didn't he post a tweet of this Jake Chinatown character threatening the children instead of... Why did he post this instead, which says, it's a Jake Chinatown tweet that says, should I sue public figure Ethan Klein for instructing his fans to dox me, repeatedly telling them I want to murder his children in what seems to be a transparent attempt to incite spelled wrong, but violence against me? This is him saying that he didn't do that and you're accusing him of doing that. Why not just post the tweet of like him allegedly threatening your children instead of this thing, where he's denying that he did this? What? Okay. because the marbles are gone. Shut up, dude. like literally. Stop. And then it's another H3 podcast about a niece Indian. Oh my God. Oh, dude. In other news, I'm excited to watch Superman later today. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun for me. I can't wait to take a picture of me at the theaters and then find another 20 stories. Super woke. Yay. Super woke. I heard there's a point where someone kills Netanyahu, arrests Netanyahu. I don't know. I heard something like that happens. I'm super excited. Yay! The Marlboros are not only gone, they have ceased to exist. They no longer exist. They have never existed ever before. Okay. Oh, I found the tweet. I don't know how I lost this tweet. Sorry, going back a little bit on the previous conversation that we were talking about. Me at those predator catching men on YouTube pretend they care about kids and SA survivors knowing full well they don't give a fuck and just use the opportunity to let their frustrations and insecurities out on easy targets while getting to look like a hero. Yeah, this is true. This is correct. This is correct. This is real. It's like conservatives being like, we care about the family. No, we are not going to help you with childcare or daycare or food or shelter or free school lunches or good education or healthcare. But we are pro-children. And by that, we mean forced birth. That's what we really meant. Sorry. Okay, the truth has come out. That's what we actually meant. Our bad. Okay. But it's basically the same thing. Can I come to? I don't want to. But I don't want to go to the movies alone, making a joke about parasocial relationships. Yes, chat. You guys can come with me to the movies. I'm actually gonna live stream in the theater. I'm actually gonna do that. It's true. Correct. It would be such a funny joke to do that, but it would also be. I don't like. Can you imagine? It's not Disney. Disney doesn't own DC, right? Field trip. Yeah. I'll just only record myself, so you'll see my reactions and nothing else. It'd be like. And then midway through the movie. And then at the end, I'm a terrible person to take to the movies, chat. I'm not the person to take, by the way. Okay, hold.